Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spin Rack. This is Mars here, and today we're doing a little Love It or Skip It review. Today we're going to be talking about Charlemagne presents the Illuminati. This is, of course, the conspiracy theory that a lot of people believe that the world is dominated by a small clique of men who basically pull the strings for everything. Now, I don't know if you know who Charlemagne is. Charlemagne is a radio DJ who has a show called the 97 Hot 97 Breakfast Club out of New York, and he is basically branching out into multimedia. So let's talk about this particular book. What is it about? Well, we have a character by the name of Lily, who's an aspiring musician. She travels to Los Angeles because of the death of her twin sister, Jackie. Now, Jackie supposedly died of a drug overdose, but as we progress in the story, we see that there's a lot more going on than we think. And it seems that, this particular question of whether or not what will you do for fame comes back up right away. We do see the artist, the writer of this particular story is who was his name again? Bryan Edward Hill, and you have the arts of Cowan and, if I butchered this, sorry about that, Bill Sienkiewicz, who inks, and it's a look at the look of the comic is a dark, moody, almost like a film noir, with LA being the backdrop to it. Now, getting back to the question of what would you do to get fame? This is something that's a perennial issue that happens whenever any artist they cross over. You always have these things. Oh, they crossed over. They, their industry plan or whatever. But here, this is basically what happens to you, and I think that people have to take this thing seriously, not necessarily of the Illuminati, but the fact that at what is the cost of fame for you? What are you willing to do to get it? And in real life, you see a lot of different people do different things, which is not always great. Continuing on with the story, we also see that this team of comic artists, they're doing this is an independent book, reading under the AWA, I guess moniker, not moniker. The AWA is the name of the comic book company. Initially, this was a very successful Kickstarter. They did the entire series, because right now this I think is 105 or 106. They did the whole Kickstarter with the entire story, and they were selling different price levels and stuff where you got the entire thing as a hardcover. So it seems to have done very well, and now it's open to the mass market. We're seeing more and more of that, whereby comics, they're basically saying, comic companies are saying, hey, prove yourself first. Let's see if you have an audience before they will go ahead and do a big printing. And, it doesn't necessarily work for everyone. It works for others. Smaller companies like ADW will really work for. I think it's still out as to whether or not it will also work for some of the largest like Marvel and DC, who have the large marketing reach and even a small budget, but they still have a budget for marketing to reach out to people. So, my final thoughts on this particular thing: it started off slow. It is, which is, it's not a problem for me. It started off slow because you're basically setting up the whole universe, the whole thing that no one else started doing. The other issue is that there's a lot of mysteries involved. We basically did not get anything solved in the first issue, and so we may have to come back to another issue. But it's more 50-50 on that. Overall, I mean, hey, I like film noir type of films, and I'm willing to always give them a little bit more of a leeway regular to anything else. So, lastly, we're basically going to be doing some murder mystery about this Lily's sister who died in L.A. Oh, and one last important fact: it seems that her sister is either coming back from the grave to haunt her, or she's connected with her because of their psyche. They were twins, and so it's very possible because they were connected together that's the problem that's bringing them together. And so she's able to learn things about her sister. One, that she never knew, and two, that may be able to help the case and get the people who actually killed her in jail. But, that's the reason it's called the Illuminati. Can that even happen? Because the Illuminati, plucks its people out from obscurity or famous people and just particular protects them. If you like what you hear, give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Spin a rack out.